So I, like most people, love the Neo Geo. And one of the premier series on the Neo Geo is the Metal Slug series. And I was excited to play a game in the series that I had never played before because it's a handheld Metal Slug game. And it's Metal Slug First Mission on the Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume 1. It looks kind of crazy, and this is what it looks like while you're playing it. As you can see on the screen, it has like the Neo Geo Pocket Color console, and you're playing in a small window. I mean, obviously this has lost a lot of the incredible graphics from the arcade games, and the Metal Slug games are known for being highly detailed, and their sprite work is like the greatest of all time, all that, you know, everything you've heard. We all know about it, right? This looks pretty plain, and I will say the music is not nearly as good as the other Metal Slug games. So going into this, don't expect that full cosmetic Metal Slug experience you would want. But getting that out of the way, the game does play the same as the other Metal Slug games. You run and gun your way through a bunch of enemies, and it's super challenging, maybe not as challenging as the arcade Metal Slug games, but still puts up a fair challenge for a handheld. But it does gain some really interesting elements that the console versions or the arcade versions on the Neo Geo proper don't have. There are these like non-linear levels where you have to explore and find your way through by going in different doors and jumping across certain platforms and finding hidden routes and things like that. There are some shmup stages that are pretty interesting. There are some stages where you like parachute down and you have to land. They really put a lot of variety into this, and I found that to be really engaging. There's another really interesting feature in this that makes it stand out above all the other Metal Slug games that I know of, and that's that certain levels are only accessible by doing really well or really poorly in a certain stage. For example, in one of the shmup stages, if you succeed, you land on an island and proceed, along with your assault. But if you get shot down, the next stage is you skydiving and then parachuting safely onto a different part of the island that you then have to play through. At one point, I got killed in like an enemy base, and instead of losing a life, I woke up in a prison cell and had to escape from the prison using nothing but a knife. That's really flippin' cool. That's amazing. I wish the games on the Neo Geo proper had something like that. These extra features are really cool, and it helps the game stand out as more than just like a dumbed down version of the arcade Metal Slug. But there's a thing or two I hate about this game. Even though there are several routes, the whole experience is pretty short, and it is, like I said, it's a challenge, but it's a lot easier than the arcade games. And since you can save your game and start back where you left off, you should be able to beat this game in just a couple of hours with no issues whatsoever, as opposed to the weeks it may take you to learn to grind your way through a Metal Slug game on the arcade. This is an engaging experience, and I had a great time. My daughter watched me play it. I played through it twice, and I tried to find all the alternate routes, and I got most of them. I had a good time, but after 2 playthroughs, I'd had my fill of the game. Now, Metal Slug First Mission on the Neo Geo Pocket Color is a really fun game. It's not as good or as memorable as the arcade games, but those extra features and the alternate routes and things really elevates it a lot. And considering this is a handheld game, it's probably one of the best, if not the best, on the entire console. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I've only played 2 games on it. So I would say Metal Slug First Mission is a good game. It's a 7 out of 10. But it's very close to being an 8 out of 10.